Hello and welcome to Cars at 100, and on today's review I have the nice 2023 Kia Forte GT with GT2 package. So this car is basically fully loaded Kia Forte GT. We're gonna look at this car from the outside, check this car on the inside, and see the window sticker. So let's not waste any more time and let's jump into it. Let's start from the outside first. This Kia Forte GT has red accents and they harken back to the Jetta GLI, and it has a lot of similarity to that. This red here, and you have red in the grille as well with the GT badge. You have adaptive cruise control also on this car. You have a nice redesigned headlights. This car has been redesigned for 2022 and this is 2023 car, which has the same appearance and has basically same look as the 2022 car. Overall, you have the design here with the vents, and they have this silver kind of finish on the exterior, as well as this LED headlights with daytime running lights, and you also have fog lights here. You have redesigned Kia badge here. Sharp looking car. It's a 201 horsepower front wheel drive. As you can see, the rims here are unique for Kia Forte GT. You have the similar smaller in size wheel that come on the GT line, but this is a more of a performance car compared to that car. So you have 225/40 R18 tire, and they're Majestic Solus Kumo tires. Especially this is very nice, very unique look. You have keyless entry, keyless go. You also have a light there, as you can see. There is no sensor behind the door open handle, just the button for the front doors. As we go around, you have no chrome on this car except the rims. As we go around, you have this very compact sedan look to it, and in the back as well you have the redesigned tail lights, and you have nice dual exhaust here. Car competes directly with Civic Si by Honda, and compared to that car, this car is dual clutch transmission, this particular car, but you can also get manual transmission with summer tires. It has very similar design and dimensions, and basically, you know, aspects of Jetta GLI. I think it was a benchmark for this car in terms of the design, even on the inside, which I will show you in a little bit. Interesting look. You have turn signals that are on the bumper, which is type of a Korean design. This is a Korean vehicle, South Korean automaker. You have a GT badge in the back here as well as on the interior, which lights up, which is very cool, and I will show you that in a little bit as well. Unique design on the headlights, reminds you a little bit of K5. Let's check this car on the inside. In order to enter this Kia Forte, as you can see here, you have this key fob. You have remote start here in the front of the key fob, as you can see with the Kia logo here. You have a lock, unlock, hold for trunk release, and panic button here. Physical key inside the key fob here as well. And it's a nice design. It's a little bit weighty, not heavy. You can keep this key fob in your pocket, and you can lock the vehicle with this button, and you can unlock it with the same button. This is soft touch material, soft touch material, you have some stitching here, you have soft touch material here, and you have hard plastic, and you have a reflector here as well. You have a bottle holder here, as well as basically either bottle holder or book pocket. And you have a optional Harman Kardon sound system speakers here, and you have this nice pattern on the piano black finish, which at night lights up just like the logo on the dashboard. You have automatic up and down only for the driver's side window, and you have some red stitching here as well with that gray stitching. Nice door opener handle here with a nice silver chrome, brushed chrome look. You don't have a door seals here. You have a fuel cap and trunk release, nice aluminum pedals. In terms of the entrance, it's quite large entrance, and you have these seats. These are sporty seats. You have bolstering here. You have supportive seat. You can adjust them in many ways, and you have bolstering up top, which is much bigger than on the bottom, as you can see. It reminds you a lot about the previous Jetta GLI. You have the GT logo here, as you can see, and you have perforation and nice design overall in terms of the seating. This is not a real leather. If we jump inside and close the door, kind of far to reach to close the door, which one thing is it opens comfortably for you to enter, but when you have to reach out, you have to really reach out. For the price that this car is, it's a very good proposition for everyday use with some performance as well as efficiency, I would say, because this car is only 201 horsepower with 4-cylinder engine up front. You have nice vents here, blind spot monitoring here, as you can see. You have traction control button off here, and you have some options to dim or make lighter the screen and dashboard. In terms of the design, it's a very unique design. You have the soft touch material here, and you have stitching. You have this nice screen here. Would be better if it was integrated in the dashboard. And if we start the car with the start stop button here, just like this. See in the middle there is a small screen, not very small, not very large. You have this space here that is only taken for the basically all the warning lights and all the lights in general. You have some lights that are here. I particularly like these red needles, kind of emphasizing the sporty appeal for this small compact sedan. And you have basically options here on the left of the steering wheel to control the media, and on the right here you have the option to control that middle display there. As you can see, you have some options there that you can control with, as well as the attention level, which is very good. And also you have options here for the digital speedometer, and you have option here to see your drive info, which has your trip, average mile per gallon. As you can see, it's 29 mile per gallon combined so far. That this car has been driven for 123 miles. It is supposed to be efficient car. Generally speaking, I would say it is more sporty than efficient. You have the steering wheel, which is D-shaped, as you can see here. Pedal shifters behind the steering wheel, and they have this nice grooves here, kind of. And they're plastic feeling pedal shifters, but this car is not expensive, so you don't expect very expensive, you know, pedal shifters, to be honest with you. You have the trim here, which goes very well with the rest of the car, and it has a piano black finish as well as this brushed chrome here, and you have this brushed chrome coming here with the GT logo here. Unique design with the new Kia logo. Middle section here that has your climate control options. So if we put this car into climate control and set some climate control, you have options for your fan, and you have, as you can see, screen here. Generally speaking, it has red light on the interior of this car at night, especially. All these buttons light up in red. Also, very much reminding you of the Jetta GLI. I think that has been the benchmark for this car in terms of the design. You have the stitching that kind of shows you the same thing. You know, here, if you remember the Jetta GLI that I reviewed, it had the same design to it. You have this nice transmission lever here, and you can control it like this. And since we're here, I can show you the rear view camera, which is very good quality in terms of the, you know, screen quality and image. And you have here the rear parking distance controls, and you have some options here that you can go into adjusting some of the options. In terms of the design, it is a very good touchscreen, one of the best on the market. I think better than Nissan and some of the German automakers, I would say, especially Volkswagen lately. They have not been doing very good infotainment screens and options in terms of the adjustability use, because they are eliminating the buttons. And I think the buttons are very useful as a shortcut. You can just press them and it'll take you whatever you think, you know. And some of the options, you know, you have the muscle memory. Some of the buttons you can just click without going into the screen too much. And these are, you know, basically buttons, but they're sensitive, basically buttons, and you can, you know, click on them and they never lag. They always work right away. And you have two knobs here as well, which is very good. You have a big screen here, and generally speaking, it's a very easy to use car. That's the logo that I was telling you about, and it lights up at night. Nice shift lever here. You have the option to go into manual mode that will put your car automatically into sport, and you will have S here. Once you shift, it will go into full manual mode. Speaking of this middle section here, you have heated and ventilated seats. With the GT2 package you get this, and it's very convenient. This is the only car in this class that has ventilated seats that you can option. And you have wireless charger here, but it is not wireless Apple CarPlay. It is wired Apple CarPlay, so you have to connect it. You have a 12-volt power outlet here, as well as the USB and USB for media and USB to charge your device. You have this, you know, section here for your, you know, things. You have the drive mode button here that you can put into sport mode or smart. Basically, smart mode will adjust to your driving, and if you drive fast, it'll go, I would assume, into sport mode without telling you. And if you drive slow, it'll be as efficient as possible, because I think smart is one of the efficient modes, the only efficient mode, I would say, for this car. You have automatic parking brake. You don't have a handle anymore, and you have an auto hold button here as well. You have the option here for some storage, as well as two cup holders here. And this also reminds you of Jetta GLI as well. You have the camera button here that you can turn on the camera anytime to see what's going on behind you without going into the reverse. In terms of this middle section, in terms of the space for storage, you have felt lined on the bottom, and it is not that deep. And you have a soft touch material here, hard soft touch, I would say. You have the glove box here, and it's quite large, I would say, for this type of car. I also have a window sticker here for you to check out and see all the options for this car. As you can see, the outside color is gravity gray and interior color is black. You can pause the video at any second to see all the options and extra equipment for this car, including the GT2 package That is $1,900 there. Total manufacturer suggested retail price is $27,550 with 30 mile per gallon combined, 27 in the city, 35 on the highway. Final assembly point for this car is Mexico. Let's check out the back seats. In order to enter the back seats, the doors need to be unlocked. There is no keyless entry through the back doors. Hard touch materials up top. You have hard plastic materials here as well, and you have soft touch material only here, and this is rough soft touch material, I would say. You have stitching here, red stitching, and you have gray stitching here as well. You have window controls here, as well as the cup holder and speaker housing. In terms of the entrance, if we jump inside and close the door, nice solid close on the door. In terms of the middle section here, you have two vents. You have the USB to charge your device there, and you can close and open these vents only. You have the net for the pocket only for the passenger side. You also have here two cup holders with the handrest. In terms of the headroom, as you can see, plenty of headroom here. I'm 6 feet tall, and it's enough. And you have a sunroof, as you can see as well. Let's check out the trunk space. You have to have a key fob in your pocket, and there's a button right under the logo. And as you can see, it's a large trunk here, and you also have a spare tire that is right under the floor of the trunk. And there is a plenty of room here. You can also drop down these back seats to have pass-through storage. Now let's take this car for a ride. As you can see, it's a different day. It's been some time since I reviewed this car on the outside and on the inside, and the reason is because this is the replacement for Alfa Romeo, and video about Alfa Romeo is coming up soon. There is a lot to talk about that car. There is a lot to say about that car. There's a big video coming up about what happened to that car and what type of experience I had to the end of the lease for that car. Stay tuned for that video to drop on the channel soon. Don't miss that video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss it. Now about this car, I reviewed this car a month and a half ago, and I did not post a video because I wanted to post my impressions after owning this car for at least a month, in this case month and a half after I got this car. And I've been driving this car, I've been enjoying this car, so it's been a pleasant surprise so far. And if you ask me why I chose this car after Alfa Romeo, is a simple answer to that. This car is more usable. This car is all-around car that I can really enjoy in terms of everyday use, and not just enjoy. It is a small, compact, kind of a pocket rocket, if you can call it that. It has 201 horsepower. It's plenty enough, and it has front-wheel drive compared to my Alfa Romeo's all-wheel drive and rear biased engine that car had, which was really cool, and I enjoyed that car. This car is a little bit different, much different actually, because it's front-wheel drive only. It has 4-cylinder just like Alfa Romeo, but it's far 4-cylinder compared to that 4-cylinder that Alfa Romeo had. This is less potent. It has only 200 horsepower compared to that 280 horsepower. This car is more interesting, I think, in terms of 0 to 40. Not as much as 0 to 60, but 0 to 20, 0 to 30, 0 to 40, 50. This car, I think, more interesting than Alfa Romeo Giulia, for one simple reason: because it's lighter. This car is just over 3,000 pounds. Alfa Romeo compared to this car is almost 600 something pounds heavier than this car, and you can really feel that. In terms of everything else, this car is more reliable, more usable for every day, but this car is just more compact. You know, it's easier to park. There's a lot of room in this car in terms of the space on the interior. Trunk in this car is, if you can believe, 3 times bigger than on Alfa Romeo Giulia. Now, in terms of the driving dynamics and everything that this car represents, this is a sportiest version of a Kia Forte. So if you have a Kia Forte GT line with only appearance compared to this car is actually a GT car in terms of the trim. So what it gives you is better suspension, better transmission, better engine, better driving dynamics combined, everything all together. And you have a better car in terms of the design, in terms of the interior. You have better seats, you have flat bottom steering wheel that is also kind of a same as Kia Stinger. This car has also, as you can hear in the video, the exhaust sound, which is very important because I did not have any exhaust sound in Alfa Romeo Giulia, and I really missed that. In 3+ years of owning the car, leasing the car, I did not really have the, you know, feeling for the engine, feeling for the car. Only feeling I would get is the driving dynamics. I think the car, any car for that matter, needs to have some kind of a sound, not just from the engine, also from the rear in terms of the exhaust. That's, I guess, maybe because I'm a young guy that wants some excitement when he's driving the car. Not a lot of people would call this a sports car. This is not like Elantra N that also Kia and Hyundai kind of produce in the kind of same company, just like Nissan and Infiniti. But Elantra N is more of a sports car, I would say. It is more of a car that you can, you know, enjoy in terms of the back roads more because of the suspension is tuned better. It's actually Nürburgring tuned compared to this car. But in terms of the refinement, which fascinated me the most, is this car is more refined than Elantra N. Elantra N costs $10,000 more than this car. Actually, in terms of the, you know, amount of refinement compared to that car, this one's 3 times more. It looks more conservative from the outside. It doesn't look as childish as Elantra N. It doesn't have too many red lines. You know, it doesn't boast about its being like a, you know, compact sports front-wheel drive sedan. It is more of a understated performance kind of small compact car. You have dual clutch transmission, which is a big deal. None of the competitors really offer a dual clutch transmission for such a compact car and such a, you know, budget car. This car fully loaded is almost $28,000, and it's a bargain if you ask me. You get so much for your money. You get performance, you get, you know, a very good warranty. Kia offers you a 10-year warranty or 100,000 miles, which is unheard of in a compact sedan segment. And also you get a lot of refinement compared to the Civic Si by Honda, or compared to Corolla, which is not even anything interesting compared to this car. This car is more dynamically interesting in terms of the engine. It has more powerful engine than any, you know, other compact cars in the price range. Honda Civic Si did not even have an automatic transmission to comfortably use the car every day. So that was a one thing that you know, for a lot of people it's a deal breaker. I can understand and I can see. First impressions when I got this car, right away when I picked it up from Kia dealership, I was pleasantly surprised with the engagement that this car gave you. If you put this car in a sport mode, it is 3 modes, one of the 3 modes, the car becomes more engaging, becomes more interesting in terms of driving. Steering wheel becomes tighter, you know, the transmission becomes a little bit more engaging. Throttle becomes more sensitive in terms of your inputs. It feels like it becomes stiffer but it doesn't have adaptive suspension. It just feels stiff already. But when you put the car in a sport mode, when steering wheel is stiffer, you feel like the whole car becomes one as a whole in terms of the sportiness. This is a more of a sportier car than compact car, I would say, because it is tighter. You can feel bumps more in this car, but that is why it is more exciting for me. As you can see in the review of the interior of this car, you can see a lot of refinement. You have this touchscreen display that I was missing in Alfa Romeo. For $40,000+ car, it is unacceptable not to have a touchscreen. My 2019 Alfa Romeo Giulia did not have that. Here you have a very good touchscreen. You have a very good, resolution on the screen as well. It is very fast in terms of the inputs. Refresh rate is really quick. You have a nice sound system, which is Harman Kardon sound system. It was optional on this car as well as on Alfa Romeo, but on Alfa Romeo it is much more expensive in terms of the full package for that car. In terms of the creature comforts as well, you get with the GT2 package ventilated seats, if you believe it. Ventilated seats on a compact car that is under $28,000. It is incredible. Now let's take this thing on a highway. I'm gonna put it in a sport mode. It is more engaging in terms of the performance once you put the car in sport mode. You also have one more very nice mode in this car. It's called the smart mode, that will adjust to your driving. Basically, it will see if you're driving fast. The smart, badge becomes red because it will put the car automatically in a sport mode. And if you are in a cruise control, which I will show you in a little bit, it's a fascinating cruise control in this car. It will become blue as to, save gas and to be as efficient as possible. Smart car as well. It is not very quick, but it is not a slow car. It is not fast. You would not call this car fast, but it's not slow. If I put the car in its cruise control right now and let go of the steering wheel, it will steer itself. It will accelerate, decelerate by the cars up front. And if I set the speed higher, it will, drive automatically, which is incredible. As you can see here, it won't ask me to put hands on the steering wheel too many times, just sometimes. And if I want to rest my hand here, I can also do that, and it's very comfortable, very seamless. It won't change lanes for you, but it'll be comfortable to drive this car for the long trips. It has also driver awareness detection. Basically, if you feel tired, it will show you a coffee sign and tell you have to stop, get a coffee. Also, stay tuned for this review to continue, kind of like a part 2 for ownership after 1 year of this car. Let me know what you think about this car in the comment section. If you have any questions about this car, leave a comment as well, and I'll get back to you. Also, if you are interested in getting this or any other car in terms of lease or financing, inquire into the description box. I'll put the information of the company where they can help you with that. I'll see you next time. Stay loving cars.